Ascension. What is the mirror of your life reflecting around you now, and what does it mean? Master Lady Kira Ra leads you on a journey of enlightened perspectives as she weaves together the elements waiting to be revealed and often not seen. A fascinating and dynamic hour that will leave your heart smiling and your soul singing. And of course, Kira Ra's famous mini soul readings. Be sure to call in. And now, here is Master Lady Kira Ra.
Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome to Soul Mirrors. What is your life reflecting right now? Well, I know that what my life is reflecting is the blessing of you. You are the one, and it is your time. I first and foremost want to welcome you this evening with a reminder that you want to go ahead and call in early to the phone lines because they always jam. So make sure if you're with us live, call in over at 517-208-1500. That's over at Oneness Talk Radio. And hey, if you press *5, you can ask Sri or I a question because yes, Sri Ramka is my amazing co-host this evening for so many reasons. And of course, over at BBS Radio, 888-627-6008. Again, that's 888-627-6008. And beloved angels, do you feel it? I know that you do. I know that with each breath you're taking right now, you are aware of the 12-day ignition. The violet flame, I'm just going to stand in the middle. Do you feel what's happening? Everything around us, this entire field of energy is saying, come into this energy and create, create, create. And the heartbeat, right where I'm standing in the middle, is a Vesa. It is the eternal Ave Sa. You know, let's just remember that in this moment of ascension ignition, every breath we take is an expansion of consciousness. Breathe that one in and then expand again. Literally, we have now made it. We have gone beyond where we have been before in consciousness. And this is why this violet ray energy has started offering us an even greater amplitude into our expansion. We are amplifying our own expansion. I mean, I created this graphic to help you feel what I feel 24/7. We are in a moment right now where the heartbeat of Ave Sa, this beautiful infinite center, do you see that? That's right where we are right now too, right? Remember that we are at that 12 o'clock hour in Ascended Numerology, and we're here. We're literally here. And we are swinging here until we get to April 12. And so this is the heartbeat. It is that moment of incredible expansion. And here we are right now, this miracle moment. And I want to, let me kind of backtrack you on that a little bit because it's so important to understand this. And those of you that do Monday Magic know that understand is code for what? Relax the left brain. So it's important to understand this. When you step through to the other side, when you say yes to the Mastery Self-Ascended Presence that you are as I am, when you are able to sincerely be living in the expanded awareness of the multi-dimensional experience of every interaction at every moment, it's very much like living in a 24/7 conscious near-death experience. And I want you to breathe that in. Because at the end of the day, for me, the only thing that matters is Shri. And that would be the reason I'm here in density. Because my love for Shri, my sacred union with Shri, is so strong and so unbreakable. And everything has tried to pull us apart when I share that with you. I mean, everything, right? But it's so unbreakable that for me, one of the blessings of living in that near-death experience 24/7 as part of that awareness, that consciousness is expanding with every breath, that as we are in this moment right now, everything we're doing is more than we've ever done before. None of us have ever made it this far consciously before. None of us. And so to be here in our own Groundhog Day of consciousness, we will each have that catalyst which expands and brings us to the next level. And for me, that catalyst is Shri, which is why it's an unbreakable bond. And so what is your catalyst? The Ascension Illumination is happening whether you know it or not. And ironically, part of what you're probably objecting to the most in the polarity is exactly why you're illuminating as much as you are. And when we can all rise into that, when we can live this true heartbeat, this respiration of the Ave Sa energy, right? When we can say yes to the catalyst and density that became your anchor to conscious expansion, then it is those two together. Whatever that union looks like is irrelevant. But we all have an anchor in density. We all have, basically, I like to call it a touchstone, that we ourselves sent ahead into this time experience, knowing we would get here, so that when we found that, our greater purpose would ignite. For those of us that are union souls, it was finding ourself in whatever other form we were showing up in this world. And sometimes the form we show up in this world might be other than a human. We just, Shri and I just happen to be in that world together right now. How exciting. How about you? In your gateway of today, and I do want to timestamp this show, because this show is happening on the day 6 gateway of the 12-day illumination of the violet ray. And if you're catching our show live, the video, the 6th video, for whatever reason, is taking a ridiculously long time to upload, but should be up on YouTube after this show. Shortly after this show, there will be an e-card going out about it as well. Take time to connect with it as soon as you can. One thing that I was called to put in there today was a 7-minute activation of the Ascended Presence, because that's what today is about. That's what this illumination is about. It's about saying yes through coming into perfect ascended balance with the mastery presence, to really saying yes to that which is your anchor. What has been saying, hey, how are you? Maybe it's Shri and I, because that's why we're together. That's why we are all here right now. Because in this moment, in this show, in this space, the one thing you know that you get from me is naked authenticity. And what I'll share with you is that the gift of this show is that every single being that I have the honor of co-hosting with every week, and oh my gosh, my April lineup is massively amazing, gonna blow your mind. It's like WWA expanded immensely for the whole month, so you got to tune in every week. But tonight, I bring on the guest who expands me the most, and the one who I know is as nakedly authentic as I am. And that's the one thing I promise you, is that every week, all of us that are here sharing with you are talking about consciousness. This is not a show of self-promotion. This is not a show about anything other than every breath we're taking is a miracle, and somebody needs to be talking about this, and about remembering that for those of us that are finding this level of consciousness, shame on us if we are not gathering. And that is the one thing that I have seen, is that the next level of the ego release is what I'm calling the master's ego. It's a fascinating journey where you first walk through this moment where you have absolutely zero tolerance for anything other than getting things done, because you are so aware of what is happening, so aware that we are this close to forgetting. We're this close, but the good news is we're not, right? Doesn't matter that we're swinging in the middle of this 12 o'clock hour in this moment. What matters is that this 12 days, this moment, I have to pick it up, right? is leading us to this, right? It's leading us to this incredible moment where we have the opportunity, all of us, to go beyond the basics. Aren't you tired of the basics? I mean, God bless the basics. There are many, 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 many who are waking up right now and need the basics. And thank God that the basics have been so well primed. It's like everything's been prepared. We have all been prepared. And so over the past, and I'm going to use 12 years because Shri and I, that's when Shri and I left the United States, was 12 years ago. That's when we began our extraordinary, massive journey to who we are today. And 12 years ago, it was a very different experience of the awakening. And everything that's coming forward now, everything that happened during that time has come forward right now. And I want you to breathe, right? Because I'm going to step aside because of the heartbeat of a Vesa that is birthing again. And I think before I say anything else, what would be so amazing would be to have Sri Ranka join me. So I'm going to have him step in from the cosmos here. So from the other side of the curtain of Oz, who is behind the curtain? It is the one and only, my beloved Sri Ranka. So, hey, I'll be the people off stage. Hey, Sri Ranka's here. All right.
Hi. Blessings, everybody. Wow, here we are at the Cosmic Discotheque. We're
right on.
Pulsing through the illusion into the vibration of joyful connection.
Yeah.
Hey.
There we are.
Fun.
And it is fun. And Shri, one of the reasons I wanted to bring you in right now is, we're talking about these 12 days and today is day 6. And, the video is going up right now. But remember that today, day 6, is about bringing your chakras into the self-ascended state. It is the activation of your light vehicle, of being able to stay in that multidimensional presence with conscious awareness of density so that we are able to be illuminated as the grid of illumination opens, ignites on the 12th. So I wanted to talk about this ascended energy, and this is so important about this week specifically paying attention. How can they pay attention to their self-ascended chakras?
Well, how can you pay attention to anything? First, you make an intention to do it. Sometimes we get so busy with the dance in the outer world or the dance on our mobile devices that we're not paying attention to how we are actually energetically interfacing with the world. And so this, in my opinion, is easily solved by paying attention to your breath. When we bring our attention to our breath, breathing in and feeling how it settles, how it is in this experience here, then our breath will direct us to where the congestions are. Because the breath is flow, the breath is fluid, the breath is prana, the breath is life, organic life. So when we use the breath, we're reconnecting back home just by saying, I'm paying attention to my breath. And then look at where in your body the physical is responding to the energetic. Many people are fully aware of their chakra energies and many people are not. And it's okay, but your body's aware. So you can discover what your chakras are doing by listening to your body, by feeling those areas of the body where the chakras are the most concentrated. And of course, that's the pelvis, the sacrum, right near the belly button, the solar plexus, right below the rib cage, the heart chakra, and the high heart has its own unique balance here. And of course, the 5th chakra, the truth chakra, that place that is either allowing the heart to connect to the upper realms or is swinging you left and right because you don't know what to believe and you're in a loop of disconnect. Mm-hmm. So that's easily solved once you recognize that you're there. Breathe in and out of the throat. Balance the throat. I connect to my ascended perceptual capacity. Ascension is a state of energy vibration, and we can be open to our natural capacity to ascend as we lift into our heart, release any congestions at the throat, heart, high heart, throat, and then we move into the upper chakras, which are amazing.
And all illuminating right now. And so we're gonna take a seat and dive into this energy right here, because that is, for those of you that may not know, that is the symbol of Ave Sa. And as I was mentioning earlier, and Shri, as I feel it would be so important for us to really share more about before we get to your questions and phone lines as well, is this moment of expanded presence. We are at a moment right now, and this April energy, this month is just, it's so important, and this resurrection energy that is on the planet that we're still in. But bear in mind that coming up, I want to share it because coming up this Saturday. So remember, we're building up to this right now. There is so much coming. I actually made a graphic. So here it is. Coming up this very Saturday is the 10th, and that is when the Ave Sa energy, this right here, that's the heartbeat. That's what's got this whole thing going. This is literally what's holding the propulsion energy, is when Shri and I, for the first time ever, are teaching how to access soul song. We are going to be teaching the up-leveled Crystal and Atlantean Healing Chamber. It's 3 Saturdays. Oh my gosh, from our healing room here at TOSA Blue Mountain. And it's on day 1 of the Grid of Illumination opening. Because remember, this period begins 3 days before the illuminated new moon, and it closes. It's this is it. You're staring at it. It is these days. And so it is literally the day that it's opening. And again, how we always talk about, this was not planned. We didn't look at this when we put the chamber on the books. This calendar wasn't even available when we put the chamber on the books. And so this Saturday, of course, igniting. Doesn't it feel to you almost like a comet?
Well, it's
right. It's like,
yeah.
boom,
There's
right?
a grand
That energy,
expansion,
right? And so you're going to want to, whether you're with us in person, whether you're not, the crystalline chamber opens. The ignition of remembering how to access, play, record, and gift soul song begins for the first time ever. And so I'm so excited about that, because this miracle, ever since we've been bringing Ave Sa back onto the planet, Helena Blavatsky's come back in such a big way. I've had the blessing of more communications with her. There's just so much happening. And so it's a very beautiful, rapid up-level moment. And then, that just begins what turns out to be like an every single day must-do thing. Sunday, Shri and I continue this conversation right now. Tonight, we are only setting the stage, because this activating Ascension Illumination that you are in, that is already happening, the moment is here, we're in it now, is going to keep building. And this energy that opened literally right now will not close until the end of the month. So we're in kind of like a mini amplification within it, like literally cycle within a cycle is the only way I can describe it. Okay. You've got to be at the show. Plus, remember, it will be our first 1-hour show, because we are now needing to be with you so often. We have had to bring Shri and Kira Live to a 1-hour show. However, we will be rebroadcasting it at 9 p.m. Eastern every Sunday as well, so that those of you that are in other countries have a chance to catch it in real time, so to speak, on a Sunday broadcast. All right, Monday. Do I sing? Do I cry? I don't know. Here's my book. Okay, Sunday is when, please, Monday, be there, April 12.
Yeah, Monday, April 12, we are going to be working with the I Am discourses. And now the I Am discourses have been here. Let's bring that up.
Yeah, just because here it is, and this is the one from Cherry. The miracle one I mentioned on a few other shows that I'll still mention has asked to be in a sacred space right now, energizing. I am going to take a picture of it, but so Cherry, thank you for our other copy.
This is an amazing spiritual work.
Oh, the epitome.
That was brought through in the mid-1930s. And Godfrey Ray King bringing through the beloved Master Saint Germain. And the book is filled with positive energy. It's filled with the affirmation of the divinity that is the animating force of all. And what Kira Ra has graciously agreed to do is to connect with the Master Saint Germain as we go through and kind of unpack some of the languaging that came through so many years ago, so that this can be more easily activating your knowingness.
Wow. I'm still...
It's a powerful...
I don't have words. I just don't have words other than this. What the divine directors have shared, what the masters have revealed, what the visions have been seen, is that what is happening, first and foremost, is that the grid of illumination that is needed. Remember, and let me backtrack this a little bit again, while you're receiving this beautiful radiation of the combination of my husband and the book together and the Ave Sa symbol, I feel like I should just scooch, right? So, no, seriously, I do. It's just distractingly fabulous. And what you're receiving is this. When we reach this time of illuminated consciousness before, the polarity, because the polarity will always exist because of the way that this whole structure has been. That's just part of it. So rather than trying to get rid of the polarity, why not relax into the consciousness expansion? So every time we've achieved this level of consciousness, we have been unable to successfully prevent the culmination of the cycle. And because we're in density, in this dimension, culminations of cycles often look like extinction events in one way or another. And so this is why so many of us throughout our lives have had a sense of dread or a sense of whatever. It's because you've lived this before. And in the spiral time that we're in right now, you are capable. This is that beautiful slice in time where you get to remember it all, okay? However, what's the key? What's the catch? You have to lift through the strongest version of the illusion to do it. It's the master's game. It's the ultimate poker face. It's the game of can you, all right, master, let's see how master filled you are. We're going to go have fun. We're going to get to run around and do all this fun and have all this stuff. However, every once in a while we wind up here. And when we wind up here, it means that we're not constantly learning the lessons through extinction events. We have the opportunity to not have to have them, to re-script the moment. And I choose those words at the behest of the masters because they remind us this is all nothing more than the illusionary play of all. And so when we awaken to this level of mastery consciousness, the first thing that we become aware of is that we left our markers. And that's why I was talking about my beloved Sri Ramka. That while
I'm your magic marker.
He is my magic marker. That we were both on quite a journey.
Yes,
I mean, even when we got together, our book collection shrank in half because we literally were reading the same books. And I mean, it was that type of a thing where when you came together, but the reason that happened was so this can be. So Sri was definitely, I know, an anchor for me to do this in form. And this is what I was talking about earlier. However, we also left these anchors, the master's anchors. We know TOSA Blue Mountain here is an anchor point for many, for humanity, for the planet, for crystalline consciousness, for the Kenyari even, we've now learned. And so this 12th, and this is part of why April is so, so important. This 12th will be the day that this violet ray energy that has come in will fully, you see how it's like right now it's coming in, it's like the energy is coming in, but it's on this heartbeat of the Ave Sa. That violet ray energy every day is going to get bigger, 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 bigger. And on the 12th, when that violet ray and the violet flame ignite, is literally the same day. And I don't want you to feel scared about this. I want you to just hold your breath and exhale it with an Ave Sa and see the blessing of it. The same day that we are doing this, which will unify the field of the crystalline grid of illumination around this field and literally stabilize the fourth dimensional collapse that is literally eating the third dimension, which is kind of why we're here. we will be literally sending up this smoke signal, raising this grid on the exact same day that the one that's here will collapse. And that's why I don't want you to feel anything. And I've waited so long to share that, because this is illuminating this Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
The crystalline chamber. Do you see how loved we are? That the way that this is all put together. But April 12th, and can we go to the Ascended Numerology? Or do you want to share something before we do?
Yeah, because one of the things I just want to pass out for you to consider. Humanity has been on one of the timelines, that's reinforced by many people who are not fully awake to the potential of shifting timelines.
Yeah.
One of the timelines is almost like dominoes falling in a certain direction, and that direction leads to destruction. It leads to the end of this phase, so to speak. And remember, there is no death.
No, it's just we transition into our next phase.
We go to the next hologram.
Exactly.
However, that's one pathway that many people have subconsciously or unconsciously contributed their energy to. This other pathway is the opportunity. It's almost like, when they run the movie backwards and what was down starts standing up, the dominoes kind of go, whoa, 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 we're here. This opportunity, meaning the cascading creation consciousness, the cascading expansion of activated awareness, which is elevated consciousness. We're in this cook zone right now, and this wonderful period of time right here in the first part of April, and that we have this opportunity by holding the highest, beginning at the heart, opening our exploded crown, that we have the opportunity to send forward a pulse wave, and as Kira's sharing, that will kind of clean up the collapse.
And it's the grid of illumination. And if you've been with us during Monday Magic, you know that was actually unlocked in one of the unlocked ensoulments. And this has been part of the miracle of COVID. You do realize the miracle of the COVID has gifted us with an opportunity for proactive, step-by-step ways to put together this grid of illumination while unlocking the next level of consciousness so that we can expand beyond and take our limitlessness into form. Remember, that's the one thing we haven't done yet. The body is still acclimating to this frequency. Imagine more of us saying yes and allowing what is the mainstream to arise. Telepathic communication, holistic living, caring for the all, and oneness experience is the truth. You are the mainstream. How many more of us need to breathe together to allow that gift to resonate, even if just in your own heart? To love them all, they know not what they do, thereby choosing the right action through inspired consciousness. It's a lot of fun. It really is. Let's go to the Ascended Numerology, Shri. I really want to share that. Here you go, guys. I want you to pay attention here because this is so important. So pay attention. I'm just going to go right to the top where it says April 2021, 12 plus the infinite. This is what I was referring to earlier about how if you go to the 12 right there, you see the blue circle on the clock. You also look at 12 on the body is star consciousness. That's actually the area above the third eye. It's about 1.5 inches above the third eye. So right now, unless you are lifted into a form of multidimensional presence, you might have other names for that, but the experience that offers you to be the witness of the witness of the witness, that star consciousness broader view right now has its entire energy field sitting in the void. And that's that 12 plus the infinite. The entire month, April 2021, the entire month, no matter where we go, this is still here. So the entire month, your star consciousness has got its eyes out into the universe saying, hey, how much are you ready to know? How open are you? Because unless you are open to this, this is not happening in the third dimension. The magic is happening in the fifth, seventh dimension, not even the lower fifth. And that's why this grid of illumination will help, because the minute we get this grid of illumination up on the 12th, which is why help us spread the word, please. The more people that are there, the better, right? And everything is a donation to the Clinica. I mean, it's just such a wonderful thing. So looking at a month where that's going to happen the entire time, look what's happening on the illuminated new moon. We're moving into it right now, Monday, April 12. We are going to the 9. Well, the first thing is we're coming into that 9 from the infinite. We're going into the illuminated new moon from the infinite presence of creation that is already illuminating in the void. This is like that rare moment, and this is why I was sharing it with you. That much void energy means that the fourth dimensional collapse into the third is going to become so collapsed that the crystalline grid that is very, very awake but very, very tender right now is going to have a moment of, I don't know that I can do this anymore. A lot of crystalline light workers are cashing it in, and on that very moment, on April 12, 2021, we're going to come in from our infinite presence to our ascended high heart and come together unified in that presence to literally ignite the grid of illumination. And before I stop the share, I want to show you one more thing, and that's right what's there, the Ascension Up level. So imagine all of this beautiful Mastery 12 energy been swinging and grabbing all of this infinite creation. Every limitless possibility is ours to the law of instantaneous manifestation right now, knowing there's an implosion of lower consciousness, and we're bringing all of that in to stabilize our high heart. And then 2 days later, we're going to take it all up and bring it into our third eye, which is our higher vision of manifestation. I mean, wow, the second half of April could be your greatest dreams that you've ever had. It's that incredible, fabulous, right?
Yeah.
So how's that feeling, Shrey?
Well, that's feeling fabulous to me. You know,
he's feeling fabulous to me too.
Let me
make sure.
One of the things I just want to pass on, the Ascended Numerology was brought through by Kira Ra. It is accurate. It is fabulously appropriate for the times that we're in.
It's an expansion, right?
Right, because as we outgrow basic astrology, as we outgrow basic numerology, we discover that though it's like getting the bigger crayon set. Oh. We get more nuances and more capacity to connect to the soul's nature, not just the human nature.
Well, you know, Shrey, can I share that? I'm so glad you said that, because I do want to just correct one thing, that I am only the blessing, I only had the blessing of bringing this back in. Remember that Ascended Numerology, when we took form here, and we've been taking form here a long time, but as we took form here way back when everything began here, this was the Garden of Eden, and we came here by choice, fully awake, because we wanted to go through this experience,
of
but
having
it was
form,
right. But there was no separation, so it was all wake. And the Magi, what became known as the Magi, would appear at every birth, because every birth was a huge celebration, and they would create the sacred scrolls based on the totality of the 13. And this is, of course, why over the years the 13 has been shunned. But remember that the 13 in its essence is the 1 plus the 3, which is the cross of perfect balance. And as Don Simeon, our beloved Mayan ceremonialist and high priest, used to share with us when he was teaching us their ancient ways, he would giggle every time he would do the cross of perfect balance when we would open up the ceremonies, and he would look up at you and giggle and go, "No one ever died here." And we just found him so beautiful. So yes, Ascended Numerology is a return to balance, and it also challenges those who are accustomed to truncated numerology. Right. Remember, the 1 through the 9 throws out the infinite altogether. God forbid we're secular. God forbid everything should be in cycles, right? So thank you for bringing that up, Shrey.
Well, yeah, and it's important. And it's also important to cut yourself a little slack. Ascended Numerology is a skill to be acquired. There's
That's
a
true.
science here, and it does take some practice and training and to be able to really make sense of that wonderful wheel. But the thing that I think all of us can wrap around is that energy is in motion.
Yeah.
And when energy is transiting through the infinite back into form, it's bringing something with it. It's bringing a connection. It's bringing a purity. And so when we take a look at the wheel, the clock there, and you see how the energy is transiting through the infinite, it's no surprise that this is a dynamic time. This is a time unlike many other times.
Yeah, I just put it right back up there, Sri, as you were sharing. And I do want to give a plug out to Melody Swanson, editor-chief of Sedona Journal of Emergence. I do write a full column that fully explains this every month, and it is published in the Sedona Journal of Emergence every month if you want to check it out over there. So yeah, thank you, Sri. But all you have to do is look at it. You don't even have to let go of your left brain. Just look at it, and it explains so much.
Yes, it does, and it also I want to tie one more thing.
Please.
As you all stare at this beautiful egg around the human form, and notice that on the left it's categorized as divine energy, and on the right the manifest energy. Yeah. And the reason I want to bring that forward is that many people are having ascension symptoms that are of a different quality than the stuff that's all over YouTube and stuff that we wrote about 15 years ago, the little things on the vision and the ascension flu and all that. And it's not to discount any of that. All of that's real and valid.
Absolutely.
However, what's important to recognize is that you are on a cosmic journey.
Oh, yeah.
Not a whirligig on Earth. You're on a cosmic journey. And
true.
Earth is part of that.
Yes,
and,
it
and,
is.
And many people talk, I've had all these lifetimes. Yeah, okay, go deeper. Where were you before you had all those lifetimes?
But and the gift of that, right? And that brings you to cosmic life regression, which you can check out as well. And that's the gift of learning to expand beyond just a past life orientation to this one. That's one of Zodkiel's earliest directives.
Well, and so I gave you a little tease about ascension symptoms.
Did.
So the left side of the body is that part of you that's moving forward. The right side, or what in ascended numerology is called the manifest energy, that's what is and what's been. It's already here. Yeah. Versus what's about to be here. And so if you look at your body and where it might be acting up, if it's on the left, this has something to do with accepting without fear that which is coming forward in your world of experience.
Right.
And if the achy pain is on the right, it's about healing a discounted or repressed wound or something in the past, a fear that keeps you kind of tied to the past rather than embracing now and the soon to be now.
And what about in the center? Like, what's the spine?
Well, the spine is that connection through the torus field.
Oh, your 0 point gravity?
Your 0 point. So many people say, okay, I get the chakras, there's a column of light. Let's take it a little further. This column of light goes up and emerges a little bit like a flower, and it does the same down below. You are standing in this tube, beautiful energy, and that's the torus field. And so the energy actually, once we begin the ascension process, the energy is going up the spine, circulating out all around you and coming back in again. So what happens if you're in a repetitive, painful, emotional thing where you're going, oh, damn it, that shouldn't have happened, and I'll find somebody else to listen to my complaint, and I'm going to call up so-and-so, and I'm going to tell them. You're just recirculating the same old energy, keeping yourself to the best of your ability in this kind of stable place, as opposed to an expansionary place.
Yeah.
Now, you can't help but expand, but you can hold on tight for a whole lifetime, or you can relax and enjoy the expansion now.
Right? How about a deep Ave Sa breath? Do you feel it? The Ave Sa heartbeat? All right. Well, speaking of the Ave Sa heartbeat and beat breath, we have so many people holding over at 517-208-1500. A lot of them with their hands up. Remember, if your hand is up, *5, it means you have a question for us. Remember, you can also get in over at the 800 number. There are some open lines there. 888-627-611. 008. All right, we're coming in over here at Oneness Talk Radio, and we've got a hand up over here in Mill Valley, California. Welcome to the show, beloved one.
Hi, Kira and Sri.
Hi.
Hi, this is Patrice from California. I'm so happy we got to connect today. I just wanted to say you both are glowing, and I wanted to really thank you so much for all of your selfless work.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, sweetheart. What a gift to hear from you. Mirrored right back to you.
Thank you. So I had a quick medical question, and I did want to get a minuscule reading if that's okay.
Sure.
I have noticed over the last few days, and it's funny that Sri mentioned the left side versus the right side, because my left rib has been achy, and I know I didn't hit it or bruise it in any way. There's no, like physical manifestation, but it's a really interesting pain, and I've been trying to pinpoint, when I feel it or when I'm, when my body kind of calls attention to it. I have been going through some emotional stuff, and, it was also interesting that you mentioned that there are some crystal and light workers that might be cashing in, because I do feel a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. Thank you for knowing that. Yeah, no, thank you for knowing that.
Well, let me just offer a couple words for you. The first is reassurance. You're well on your way.
Yeah.
Trust yourself, trust your path, trust the expansion, because as we are integrating these frequencies, a lot of it's happening below the waterline of consciousness. It's our soul's decision of, yes, I will carry light in form. Yes, I will self-ascend, and I will lend this energy to awaken hundreds of thousands of others through my radiation. And we don't keep track. It's just happening. And so your left wrist, I encourage you to do a little bit of this kind of emotion to love. I'm sorry?
Was it your wrist or your rib?
Rib, R-I-B.
That's what I
Ribs.
thought.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I could feel it really strongly. I just wanted to jump in.
Then I need to apologize, because I've been having the wrist thing, so I immediately went there.
Yeah, no, it's right. I can tell you right where it is. I feel it, babe.
Yeah. Well, so then what I'd invite you to do is to practice long, slow, deep breaths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And expand the rib cage. And while you do that, bring your attention to wherever the sore spot is. Actually, it feels to me, now that I'm looking a little deeper, like a pleurisy type of symptom, which is a little inflammation in the sac tissues there. However, regardless, bring your attention there as you inhale, and you'll feel the body responding to the expanding lungs. Bring my attention there and ask for the message. What am I holding on to? How can I be kinder to myself? Those kinds of questions. What am I holding on to? How can I be kinder to myself? And then just be open. It may not be a logical conversation. It just might be a loving exchange of energy. But give that a try and see what you feel.
So as you're breathing that in, and I want you to breathe that in, I don't know if you can see me or not, but I have my hand. Hold on, I can't see myself. So if I can see me, I know what you can see. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna roll back a little bit. So have your hand like right here, kind of like bra line for the thumb, and the rest here. And you see how it's kind of like straddling right here. And as I hold that energy, as I hold my arm there, the first thing that I'm being shown is that what's happening here is actually, there's like I don't want to call it a ray of light in your spine. It's almost more like a spike. And when I hold this here, it draws my attention that it's right here in the middle of your back, almost like your wings are stuck, and it's right at the base of your neck. And then they're saying your wings are not unfurling because you are stuck. And they're saying, so I have my right hand on the left like this. And then they're saying, take up your left hand all the way, look up, Really look up so that you have to like really look up. Keep looking up so that you look up so that you go as far back as you can. And then they're saying, taking in a breath through your nose. On the exhale, bring down this hand and wrap it around the shoulder of the other side while keeping this hand here. And they're saying, breathe up. And on the exhale, release both hands, bring them up. Inhale. And then we're going to bring them down. And this one's going to go on this side of the ribs. And this one's going to go here. And they said 3 times a day with presence. And it's time to remember who you really are. Mm-hmm. This is like an energy that's been pulling you. Rather than you saying, hey, I got this. And so they're rebalancing your energy field. And so I want you to just breathe that in. And as I'm sharing that with you right now, I'm feeling a really big release. I'm watching this massive opening for you. And so thank you, because I think a lot of people are going through this right now. And I really appreciate you bringing this through for all of us at all levels of experience. Really important. Thank you, my angel.
Thank you. I definitely did feel that. And I have caught myself holding my breath quite a bit the last few weeks. And I've been actually listening to the I Am discourses for a couple of weeks online. The whole book has been, someone had, done an audio version on YouTube. So I've been listening to the I Am discourses. I've gotten through maybe halfway through the book, through the audio version. But I just want to make sure, I know you've said that some of us, it's better for us to dig down deep into, density versus straddling. And I'm just trying to understand if maybe I'm not where I think I need to be or want to be, not doing justice to either side.
That's why you're balancing. That's why they gave you the practice, honey. I want you to breathe that in. You cannot make this decision when you are not in balance. You're sabotaging yourself because the victim is in charge. Balance yourself and know that no matter what you do, it's always going to bring you back to who you are. So trust you more and breathe up. This answer is not for anyone to give you. It's you've got this. You do have this. Balance. Go back and watch this again if you need to. All right, my love, you've got this. We love you, honey. Thank you. Namaste. All right, Shri. I want to just, again, I know so many are feeling like her. So many are going through this.
Well, I thank you for bringing through that practice.
Did you guys feel it? I felt it.
This is something everyone can benefit from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we are called to be in that center place in present time, in the center, and having a sense of where our flow is taking us.
Exactly. And so I'm going to take this flow across to Thailand. How about that? All right, we're going to go to Thailand. Hey, Thailand.
Namaste, beloved Shri and Kira.
Hi, namaste. So this is Ken. Hi. Hi, honey.
Oh, a short verse, if I may. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My, oh, my, what a wonderful day.
Hey, hey.
Journey of I Am headed our way.
Woohoo!
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Hey, I want to tell you something.
Tell me.
I completed my new Abesa requirements today. They're off to Dear Sue. In my post office this morning, once the show started, are my high aspect ratio pyramids and my star consciousness rods. Sam and I, my beloved touchstone, these 12 days are distributing the shields everywhere. Sacred temples, ancient sites, healers, and laymen. And if I may, would you please grace me with a mini soul reading?
Oh, well, I think you've just graced all of us with a soul reading, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you for sprinkling the joy.
Oh, my gosh, do we feel you and Sam? And I just want to share that they just keep saying the same thing with me, divine timing, divine timing, divine timing. And so, of course, everything arrived this morning, right? I just keep hearing divine timing, divine timing. And as I ask, share, what I hear is that they're saying that you are no longer living by a clock. You are living by your truth. And that when the one replaces the other, a new clock begins. And so you're at a moment of where the new clock is revealing itself. And so it is.
Thank you so much. I love you both. I will see you at TOSA Blue Mountain soon.
I look forward to
Aloha.
it. Aloha.
Aloha. Mahalo.
Namaste. Mahalo. Oh, how beautiful, Shri. How are you? Yeah, right?
Well, wonderful. And there's just so many little reassurances here.
Yeah.
One of them is things show up when they're needed.
Right?
And as long as we are holding the highest in our heart, not the demand coming from the inner child or the kind of the ego state, but just the highest, that I know this is meant to be. I know that I
Sincerity, love, and presence, right?
Things will show up.
There it is. Miracle formula.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And the other thing, and this is part of what today's show is about, illumination.
Yes.
Illumination means several things in terms of conversational languaging. It's not just about the light within.
No.
It's about your willingness to illuminate in spite of what your ego might think.
Wow, there it is.
The master that you are is cohabitating with this personality that took birth on the one lifetime, this birth date. And the personality self is greatly identified with the body and with the outer world. The mastery self is greatly identified with the knowing of your eternal nature and your capacity, your power. And so the more that comes in, the more illuminated we become. And the master still loves the ego. Now, he doesn't let the ego make all the decisions, but loves the ego because the ego is a necessary ingredient to interacting with density. And as long as we're going to play in this planet and dance around with our bodies, we need some bit of ego. It doesn't have to be as strong as it's become over the millennia, but we need a little bit of it to be able to navigate. And so I'm smiling at this because the illumination I was feeling from Ken, I'm feeling in this beautiful work that you put together, and the I Am. The other thing I want to mention, folks, is that the I Am Discourses is part of our Monday Magic. And you can come for one Monday, or you can come for the whole series. The key is that as you say yes, you are gifted back with the reflection of the divine. Yes. Nothing happens independently. It's a yes, yes. It's not just one yes. You will be smiled with.
Well, for sure. And I do want to just put up again one more time, guys. Please pull out your pencils, your day timers, your electronic devices, whatever you need to do. Be there this Saturday. Discover the Crystalline Atlantean Healing Chamber. Activate this energy, what you're staring at all evening here, and learn Soul Song. And then for sure, make a note, this Sunday show, again, a 1-hour show, new format. We are really expanding this conversation. We are activating the Ascension Illumination. And then on Monday, there it is, the 12th, everything we talked about today. Be there when the I Am discourses are unlocked and decoded, and the Course in Miracles for this moment in time comes forward. Right. And then Tuesday night, next week, this show, Elizabeth Yarnell, we are healing the heart of humanity on the 13th, preparing for that Wednesday evening peak up-level mastery moment. Be there when we start manifesting into right now that law of instantaneous manifestation. Yeah. All right.
Beloved ones, it's truly a magnificent time, and you can either participate with all your commitment, enthusiasm, and consciousness, or you can yawn a little bit and see what happens.
Either way, it's going to be awesome, and either way, you'll enjoy the ride, because we know that you are awake, or you would not be here right now.
You wouldn't be with us.
All right, my angels, from my heart to yours, from Shri's heart to yours, may you know that the grid of illumination is rising, and that those that say yes to this moment for expanded consciousness, together we are co-creating miracles. Help us co-create even more. We look forward to seeing you this Saturday as we ignite the Atlantean Healing Chamber, that soul song, and if not, be with us Sunday. We got a lot more to share about this conversation.
Namaste.
Thank you for joining us, and be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 5 o'clock p.m. for more adventures. You can learn more about Master Lady Kira Ra at shriandkira.com or visit their YouTube channel, Official Shri and Kira. May your heart in all ways know the Master you are.